So as always, everything I tell you is easy. If it's not for any reason, I know Marianne is new. Visualization works just as well. Everything I'm telling you is just very least amount of effort, slow. The hardest thing to learn with this work is just slow. And this is about just learning how to use your system. So with that, just feel the way, oh, William's new too, he's never had one of my lessons like this, so same thing. So just feel the way that your body is lying on the floor. And just notice the way your feet are applying themselves literally to your legs. How do your feet feel? Are they off to the sides? Does the left foot feel different the way it's attached versus the right? And with that, just take your right foot and just kind of move it from the right to the left. No, just the foot, not the whole leg. And just feel what that feels like and stop. And now just move your left foot, right and left, and just sort of feel what that feels like. And then leave it alone. And slowly go up your legs and feel how the calves apply themselves to the floor. Is there a gap underneath the back of the heel or the ankle? As you slowly go up the leg, do you feel any kind of tensions or maybe absence of awareness in some areas of the calves? And then with the knees, just feel how, again, they apply themselves to the floor. Is there a small space underneath the knees? Is there a large space? And then with that, feel the upper thighs. Do you feel that the thigh maybe is engaged? Ariana, do you need something for under your knees? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. And now feel how the thighs come into the pelvic region. And how the pelvis is just lying on the floor. And the stomach. Do you feel, or I should say the abdominal region, do you feel that integrated into your pelvis, or does it sort of feel separated? Some people sometimes are more aware of their belly button than they are their whole, where the intestines would be, and abdomen. And you know, I'm just generalizing, so if I don't mention uteruses and stuff that Will doesn't have, we're all good. And how the rib cages start to present themselves around the cavity of your chest. And of course, how you're breathing. Just note how you're breathing at the moment. So now if you have a little bit of awareness, just say of the chest cavity, just think of your chest cavity, and again, just move the right foot a little bit in relationship to the chest cavity, and let that go. And now again, have your attention on the chest cavity and just feel the left foot and see how that presents. And leave that alone. And now notice how the arms are, how they lay on the table or on the floor. And how your head lays on the floor. And now with that, we're going to start. So slowly just bend your right arm, but leave it lying on the floor. So you want to bring your hands to present to the floor, the palms down. And then lightly bend the elbow off to the person to your right and bring the hand in against your body. So you want the hand kind of be like this. So the hand's going against, probably around your hip region. And And with that, slowly, and again, slowly, even if you just have to think about it, just lift the elbow off the floor and put it back down again. And just keep doing this for a bit, and just feel what it's like to lift the elbow off the floor. And just notice what it's like to lift the elbow off the floor. Is there tension at all in the shoulder that you would like not to be there? Or is there movement that's not in the shoulder that you wish was there? And if you do this, try and keep your hand down on the ground at the moment. I mean, just that it's touching the ground. It doesn't have to be like splayed against the ground. And then leave that alone, but keep the arm in this position. And now I want you to take the right wrist and rotate the hand towards your hip and then bring it back. So towards the hip. No, just rotate. So you're just going to rotate the hand and then bring it back. So you're just going to take the wrist and rotate it towards.
Should I be feeling that up here?
Oh, you could be feeling all sorts of places, yeah. But don't let it hurt.
No, it felt kind of good. I haven't
Okay.
ever felt anything up there before.
Yeah. That's the whole purpose with a lot of this work, is to, when you isolate areas of your system, you get to evaluate the home function again, something you probably haven't done since you were a kid. This kind of work is fabulous if you work at the computer for relaxation for that. Obviously, it's so easy, but yet so minute. You can't shop at Walmart mentally. I mean, you can't do life skills while you're doing something like this. And then just let that go and relax for a second. And now go back to the original move and slowly lift the elbow and see if that got any easier or different from just the changes in the hand. And see if you can keep the hand down on the ground and just lift the elbow.
There's a limit on how high, isn't there?
Absolutely, that's why it's just nice and slow. It's just the attention to the elbow. I'm not looking for the Olympics. And then just relax, bring the arm along, however you're comfortable, just lay there for a second. And when you lay long, just feel your system again and how it feels just lying on the floor. Some people might already notice the subtleties of the difference in breathing from the right to the left, just from just that little work on the arm, and if you don't, that's fine too. And now bring the arm back into the position it was just in. And now this time, leaving the arm alone, just very slowly lift the the shoulder up and place it back down. Just a very easy movement up and down. See if you can leave the arm just alone on the floor, lying down.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. That's why I'm here. And notice too, for some this is the initiation of just getting out of bed in the morning. Shoulders start going up first, the elbow goes down. More importantly, what we're doing here is starting to separate the shoulder function from the elbow function, from the wrist function. And just relax the shoulder. And now, just for a couple of moves, just lift the elbow off the floor again and see if that got any easier.
It seems to be making me hurt right there.
Okay.
I don't know
So-
why. Okay, got you. I see. I think I was doing it wrong.
No, it's just learning, there's no wrong here. And now, leave that alone, and for a couple of moves, and again, very slowly, very lightly, just push the elbow into the ground as you do it. So just apply pressure, and then let it go. Apply pressure. And I'm not looking for pressure that you're going to jump off the floor, just a light pressure down. And notice too, can you do just the elbow, or does the shoulder need to react to put the pressure down? And leave that alone. And now take your right hand and slowly just lift it from the wrist area as if you were kind of, just bring it away from the body over towards the right, and then just bring it back down. You just want to bend the wrist. So it's just like a little wave.
Oh, I see.
So it's sort of like you're saying, I don't know. Maybe some of you are noticing how much easier it's getting to do things with your arm without having to engage the shoulder or the chest cavity. As I like to do, try and tighten your abs right now and then do this movement. Completely different. And then let the belly go and then do the movement again and see. It's amazing when your body has to go towards a different muscle function that's not appropriate for the movement.
I think I missed that belly part. Could you
Tighten the belly,
Oh, okay.
and then try and do the hand movement again. And see if that's easier or more difficult.
is.
It is. And then let the belly go and feel the difference. That just helps the brain realize when to use certain muscles and when not to. And now let the arm go and just bring it long and just relax for a second. You might start to feel that almost the right side is starting to, how it applies itself to the floor differently than the left side. The chest cavity. If your breathing is any different from the right to the left. Even at this point, just take your right foot and just move it back and forth, and then your left foot move it back and forth, and just see if there's a difference. And if there is, great, and if there isn't, that's fine too. It's very easy to play with the analogous of the body parts as we work with the hands. to see if the foot is affected. Even if it's just your level of awareness. Now you're going to bend the elbow, the right elbow again. And this time you're going to put your hand on your abdomen. So, or either on the abs or just right over on the iliac crest, whichever is comfortable for you. Again, just go with comfort. And now in this position, lift the elbow up off the floor and put it back down again and see if that's any different.
I'm sorry.
That's
I think
okay.
I fell asleep.
I know you did. That's okay. Very natural to do.
What am I doing?
So you're going to put your hand just here in your abdomen, and now in this
Right.
position, feel if it's any different to lift your elbow up.
That's easier a little. Yeah, it's easier.
Yep. And now let the elbow go in this position, and now just bend your hand at the wrist and take your hand up off the belly and then back down again, and just gonna bend right here. No, not twisting, just bend. Just like you're patting your belly. Not only are these kind of moves not organized in let's say a child with special needs, these kind of movements really start to deteriorate with people of age. That they start blaming arthritis or all those kind of movements. And now leave the hand alone and then lift the elbow up and see if that got any easier. Also notice too, which is happening with Will, how you can just sort of drop the elbow when you're done. Now this kind of stuff, especially when you start letting your body parts learn to fall, that'll knock you out, put you to sleep. Boom.
I guess that's what I call it, falling asleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
And now bring the hand down to you as it was in the beginning, on the sort of bent at the elbow. And now lift the elbow up and see if that got any easier or different. All right, is any of you starting to realize how the chest cavity is really changing to manipulate the arm differently than you did in the beginning? And if that doesn't make sense, take the right arm along now and put the left arm in that position and try to lift the elbow off the ground and feel the difference with the chest cavity between your right and your left. Do any of you feel the difference?
Tighter. Looking harder.
And then let your arms long and just take a rest for a second. Some of you might even start to realize that how much the face starts to relax.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't notice these things, that's fine too. But it is pretty remarkable that, quote, tension in one area really affects other areas, and vice versa. And now bend the right elbow again. And this time, see if you can slowly push the shoulder into the ground and then up again. And again, you might not get it, quote, into the ground. I'm just looking for you to, in this position, to push the shoulder down towards the table, or to the floor. And notice it's more of a push down versus a lift up. But your body will might try to do both. And now leave that alone. And now try and lift the shoulder up, and then again, let that one fall. Lift it up, and see if you can just let go. And lift it up. Notice too, how you're starting to get a very nice torque through the chest cavity doing something like this. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you on balance. But do you feel when you're raising the shoulder how the chest cavity is starting to need to twist to do something like that? And then just go back and see if it's any easier lifting the elbow up again. Are you starting to feel that the whole mechanism starting to hook up with the collarbones? Or a change with your chest cavity. And again, if that's not apparent, try it on your left side and see what that feels like. Also, when you can leave that alone, at this point too, just feel how the top of your shoulder presents. Does the right shoulder feel different than the left shoulder? Laying on the ground. And just relax, let your arms long. That doesn't hurt at all, does it? Or are you just feeling
Yeah, I'm just feeling my shoulders are arched.
Now, about to start the other side. If anyone's interested, you can quickly get up and walk around and feel the difference between how your right arm hangs versus your left. If not, we'll go right into the left side. Oh, what you can do now is just slowly lift your right arm up into the air and put it back down again. Feel that? Your right arm first. And then feel the comparison to your left arm and see if that feels any difference. And when you lift the left arm up, feel how the chest cavity is participating in that movement versus how the chest cavity and everything is participating. You almost should feel also a little counterbalance through the pelvis. If you're subtle enough to feel the difference, a shift. Does that make any sense to anyone?
When you lift the left arm, you should feel a little twist.
No, you shouldn't. You would have difficulty with that. You'll feel how you're pulling yourself over, almost like an unbalanced boat, versus when you lift the right side, you should feel more of a counterbalance.
Mm-hmm.
See how you're more stable, your breathing's different? Very much like an infant versus when you just do the... See, you should feel the left foot more when you lift the right versus... And again, if you don't, that's fine too. You might feel it differently when we start with the left. I'll leave that alone and just relax for a second. Does anybody need a drink or anything? Are you good? So bring the left arm to bend it lightly on your side. And slowly lift the elbow up and bring it back down again. Again, just nice, gentle movements. There'll be part of your brain that wants to teach the other side what you learned on the right side. And just lifting the elbow up on the left. And leave that alone, and now just lightly take the left wrist in the hand and rotate it towards you. Just rotating it towards you and bringing it back into position.
I lost track again.
That's okay.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
I know.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
It's very easy when you start this work to just nod out. It's a lot of information for the brain, and it's also very relaxing and freeing. Bringing it in. No, not all the way way out, just do it. And now in this movement, just for a second, bend the right elbow. Sorry, like on this floor, like we were doing, and just bring your wrist in and just feel that movement of looking at time and feel the difference between the right and the left. Do you notice a difference? And then leave the right arm alone and go back to the left arm. That torque that I always go after is just so beneficial to your system. And now go back, leave the hand alone, and lift the elbow up and see if that made any difference. And leave that alone and let the arms go long. Do you need a prop under your knees? You're good? No. You sure? And again, just lightly move your right foot and feel how that feels. And then move your left foot. Is that any different for anybody from when we first started?
Yeah.
When you do that too, you might feel the changes in the thigh or the pelvis. It might not just be the foot. And now bend the arm again. The left arm, sorry. And now slowly lift the shoulder, leaving the elbow and the rest of the arm alone on the floor, and just lift the shoulder. And then leave that alone and just go back to lifting the elbow off the ground and see if that changed or got any different. Just lifting the elbow off the ground. And as some of you are starting to do as you lift the elbow up, just let it fall down. And now, instead of lifting the elbow up, slowly push it into the ground. Just a light push into the ground. And then coming back up to neutral. And now bring up the right arm, bend it, as well as not. Keep the left arm bent too. No, just on the floor, just bent on the floor. And now, alternate pushing the right elbow into the ground and then the left elbow into the ground. Start to feel what? Your chest, your pelvis, it's just a real light push. Just feel that tilt of the pelvis. Maybe you might feel how your thighs start to move. The changes in the chest cavity. And leave the elbows alone, keeping the arms in that position. And now lifting the left shoulder up and then the right shoulder. And go back and forth. Just a very gentle, very easy movement. And now as you lift the shoulders up, as you lift the right shoulder up, press the right elbow into the ground, as if you were trying to go from side to side. And then to the left elbow. Tony's actually doing it very good. I'm just taking her lead. So as you lift up the right shoulder, press the elbow into the ground,
Okay.
as if you're trying to get up. And then do the left, go back and forth. And then relax and let both arms long. Bring both elbows on the side of your system again, like we've been doing, where they're slightly bent. And now lift the right elbow and then the left elbow, going back and forth, and see what that feels like, just the elbow. And now would this move help at all? If you started involving your head, so if you lift your right elbow up, looking off to the left, and then as you lift the left elbow up, go off to the right, and see if you can alternate. Start to feel how the chest cavity is incorporated into the movement of the arm. And see if you can coordinate the head movement, so you're going to go back and forth with that. Do you realize too, this is almost the beginnings of a baby starting to roll over? As the head starts to go around to the side, how you naturally want to bring the arm over. And relax and let the arms long. So now just feel your body. Is your breathing any different? Do you breathe? Do you actually feel maybe your pelvis when you breathe? Are your feet more outward? Because the tensions in the muscles of the legs have changed, or the lower back? And when you're ready, slowly sit up. And when you're ready, slowly stand and walk around and just feel it.